Okay, so what's in the bag? What do I carry and why do I carry it? This has probably been the best piece of equipment I've owned since mountain bike riding. It's over 30 years of age. It's a Deuter, spelt Deuter, and it's German. This one was probably one of the last that the German company actually manufactured in Germany. They're currently making them, for the last 30 years, they've been making them in Vietnam. But let me tell you, for 30 years of age, you have a look at all the seams, the amount of sweat this thing has had to endure. There has been not one issue with it whatsoever. It has been absolutely the best bag money can buy. Not cheap by a long shot. I looked one up and they're anything from $200 to $500. But I guess you're going to get what you pay for. You can get the $10 Amazon and maybe buy one every 6 months. You can probably get the $50 Amazon, eBay, and they might last you 12 months. Nothing's going to last you like this. Even the straps for pulling the zippers are still the original. So when you can build a product that's that good, it really speaks volume. So what do I carry? Now this is very important. I wanted to share this with you. So let's open it up quickly and start pulling things out. Always nice idea to carry some snacks. If you're going for a big ride, good idea, just take a few snacks, just throw them in there, leave them in there. They don't go off, they won't be a problem. They're there when you're hungry and give you a little bit of a boost if you're running low on petrol. The bladder, obviously, is the main carrying item. This one is a 2 litre capacity, and I rode today. I probably had filled it to the maximum. It's about half full now, so I have gone through a couple of bladders. This is not the original that came with the bike, but these are really cheap and they're easy to replace, easy to buy, and they all fit. Where one comes out, another one will go in. Now, you can be running tubes or tubeless. It doesn't matter. If you're tubeless, I advise taking a tube, because once you've punctured out in the bush, you're not going to get your tyres pumped up again without a tube. You're going to be pushing your bike home. So you may as well carry a tube, even if you're tubeless, and that way you can just put it in, get home, and then go to your local bike shop, mend the problem, and be back on your tubeless with your milk in your tyres or whatever you want to put in there. I've never been a fan. I just think tubes are quick, easy, trouble-free, and they do the job, have done for me ever since I started riding. So even looking at the inside of this bag, it's still absolutely immaculate condition for its age. The company's been around for some 125 years. It's really one of those hallmark brands. So we've got a arrangement here. I keep it in a plastic bag because obviously there is rainy days, there is a lot of mud that gets thrown about, and just keeping tools dry is a really good idea. Now, that's going to be the partner to your tube. You're going to carry a gas canister. This one's a 25 gram. The 16 grams are plenty to pump up a mountain bike tyre. So always consider that. The adapter, so it'll go either French valve or Schrader valve, and then once it's on the valve, attach the bottle, and as soon as you pop it with a little piercer at the end, it'll just inflate immediately, and away you go. You're not on the side of the road or in the bush pumping and pumping and pumping with a little pump. Keep that, maybe have a floor pump back in the van or the car, and you can just top up if you need to, or change the air pressures. Tyre levers obviously going to be necessary to take your tyre off the rim. These days they're very, very tight, and that's for a reason, because most people are running tubeless. They need to be super tight, and this is the only way you're going to get it off. You're not going to get it off by hand. Once upon a time, when I first started doing tyres, you could just pull them off by hand, put the tube in, pull them back on by hand, and away you go once you've pumped it up. So not anymore. They're way too tight for that. And some tyre levers. Plastic I recommend, and that way you're not damaging your rim. Now, a little handy tool like this one is obviously going to be worth its weight in gold. It's got sockets, it's got Allen keys, it's got screwdrivers, and again, an absolute must for when you break down and you need to have something to adjust the problem, fix a problem. You can then be on your merry way. Chain breaker, I carry this little guy here because that is one thing that can happen, and you break a chain, it is worse than getting a flat tyre. I've seen people ride with a flat tyre, but I've never seen anyone ride with a broken chain. So carry a chain breaker. Doesn't hurt to carry a spare joining link as well. So I do both. You can shorten your chain without that by 2 links, and it'll be sufficient to get you home. 2 links short, generally not a problem. If you've got to go more than that, could be a problem. Be very aware whichever way you go. I've got a couple of patches that I carry. I haven't used the patch in a very long time. It normally would mean that would be more than one puncture. So I'd be repairing a tube, I'd be replacing a tube, but I haven't had to do that for a while. So maybe this is becoming a little bit obsolete, but I've got it and I will carry it. So that's not the end of it. There is another couple of things that are very important. These little strap holds your keys, so they're always attached to the bag, which is a great idea. Now, I carry this. Now, this is for a very specific reason. It's not to buy my way out of trouble. It is if you were to slice your tyre and you were to put a tube in it and pump it up. Obviously, if you sliced your tyre, the sealant is not going to do anything at all. So you're walking home. So you put a slice in the tyre and you put a tube in it, or you've destroyed your tube straight away. It'll just pop straight out the hole. But one way to stop that from happening is to actually put that inside your tyre. This will not flex, this will not stretch, and this will hold the tube in place. And then you can pump it up, get home. Obviously, at that point, you'd be looking at replacing the tyre and fixing your broken bike. This might seem a bit odd, but as recent as today, I picked up a leech while riding. When you go bush and it has rained for an extended period, like it has done recently, you will get the leeches come to the surface, and they'll be looking for anything and everything to attach themselves to. I got one on my ankle, and You carry a little bit of salt, you sprinkle it on the leech, it's dead within a minute. It releases, you can flick it off, you don't have to even look at it a second time. It will just die. End of story. You don't have to worry about having to step on it, stop it from getting the next person along, because the salt will do the trick. One last thing that it took me nearly 30 years to find, but when I found it, I was a little bit shocked that I didn't know about this prior, but this bag, this clip, looks like a standard clip, but is not. And I'll show you why. It's a whistle. I had no idea. I saw the little protrusion and I thought, what on earth is that? I've never noticed it. It's been there the whole time I've owned the bag. I've never noticed it. So I gave it a go. So worst case scenario, you've come off, you broke your leg, you've hammered yourself, you've incapacitated, you're laying there, your phone's out of service, you've got your whistle. Now that is absolutely brilliant and only can be expected from a brand as good as Deuter. So with that, that's everything that I carry, and I do have these pockets on the sides, and within them they will carry the spare batteries for my cameras. So they're a handy little position. I can get to them without taking it off my back. These other openings are very handy to put things in that may be a little bit damp. You do get quite sweaty. You can put them into here. And you know, if you're changing shirts, some people do take a change of shirt. I have done so in the past. They're not a bad idea. There is this little guy here as well. Now that's going to be really handy for when I start using the beacon for the Hover Air. Now that just has a clip on the back, and that clip can just attach onto there, and then that can be turned on and the Hover Air will follow that beacon. So it's very well attached. These are clipped in and magnetized as well. They're a clever little idea, but if you want to do some filming of yourself riding with a drone, and you've got one of these, best place for it on your back so it can follow you, it can film you, and that's just going to be a little game changer for that. So thanks for listening, and hope you liked this video and learned something, and I'll talk to you soon.